All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Rebecca. It has been 5 years since I've been here. Oh, my gosh. What has happened? Well, KMWorld is still called KMWorld. That's cool. But the M's changed. We've gone from knowledge management to the knowledge mismanagement world. And I'm going to start with a story. Anyone from Vermont? Okay, you might know this story. It's Lake Champlain. So earlier this year in January, a lad gets a call from his friend. Says, hey, I've moved house and I'm having a party this Saturday. Would you come? And he's like, absolutely, I'll come. Could you just text me the address? And of course he did. Now, I don't know about you, but when I get to new cities or I'm asked to go somewhere and I don't know where the hell I'm going, I put it into my favorite map app, right? So he puts in the address to the map app on the Saturday, picks up his two friends, and proceeds to drive to the new house of his friend. Now, the particular map app that he was using this day instructed him to drive down the road, up the highway, across this little bit, and then drive down a boat ramp and right through Lake Champlain, because it was the quickest way to get to his friend's house. Now, luckily, the Coast Guard was about a mile up road and came and rescued the three people that were in the car. And this is not a Dr. Chai. This actually happened in Lake Champlain. So I wonder if we're kind of, outsourcing our thinking. What kind of knowledge mismanagement crisis are we in? Now, not to be outdone, my friend Rebecca here is from Brisbane. So there were three Japanese tourists vacationing on the coast outside of Brisbane. And they went over to the coast there and they looked at this little island in Moortown Bay and they said, gosh, that'd be awesome to go visit. Look at that. There's fauna, there's flora, we can see that. So they rented a car from Hertz or Budget, and they plugged in the address on the onboard navigation system that we all typically have these days in our cars. Well, the onboard navigation system didn't tell said tourists that there was an ocean in the way. Nor was there a bridge, nor was there a ferry, and so they started to drive across the ocean to get to Moortown Bay Island. And of course, the Hertz rental people were a bit upset with the car. You see, for me, today's reality is that we're nuts. Like 5 years ago, I think we had a little bit more patience and resolve, and we actually thought better. 5 years later, I'm back, thank you, Jane. It's not getting any better, folks. I mean, our cultures aren't better, engagement's not better. I feel like it's an apocalypse. So we can't believe that it is getting better, and your job is to go back to your organizations tomorrow and say, it's not getting better, we need to do something about this. So case in point, driving. In Canada, in 2016, the number of vehicle deaths as a result of distracted driving outpaced those caused by drunk driving. That's my country, that's where I live, that's why I'm wearing the poppy today. Remembrance Day is November 11th for us. In this country, in 2017, vehicle accidents as a result of distracted driving outpaced those caused by drunk driving. So then I start thinking, no one laughs. It's just talk about thinking, and then we're like, yeah. I do this, do cogito ergo sum. And I think to myself, well, Mothers Against Drunk Driving have actually made inroads, as has every police force across America and Canada. We no longer think it's a good idea to drink a Mickey of rum or 8 beers and then drive home, right? We've handled that somehow. But we think it's a good idea to drive 80 miles an hour down the highway and, I'll just answer that text. Yeah, I know it's my boss. She really needs this now, so I better answer it. Why? Why are we doing this? And then we get to work. And many of us, like my friend Stan Garfield will know, is we sit around a conference call phone and we sit on conference calls all day. But there's something that happens in the conference calls that we've seen called conference call bingo. So it starts with, hi, who just joined, right? Then it goes to, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? No, they're not. They're busy. Sorry, I'm double booked. Well, you are nuts because now you're just frenetic. Can everyone go on mute, please? Because you're all multitasking, right? And you just forget that you're on mute. I'll have to get back to you on this one. That's because you don't have any idea what you're doing. So Sorry, the other call ran over. Right, because you're booked back to back. No one puts a 15-minute buffer in. Sound of someone typing possibly with a hammer. Because you're multitasking. You've got more things to do than possible, right? Guys, I have to jump on another call. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're stressed. And then, sorry, I was talking on mute. Bingo, because you're crazy busy. We have corporate ADD, folks, and if you don't know what ADD is, it's attention deficit disorder. Remember, this is the Knowledge Mismanagement World Conference. That's what's going on. So it turns out in the year 2000, Microsoft started doing some research on attention spans, and they found that in that year, our attention span was 12 seconds. Not bad. Follow-up research in 2015 said it dropped to 8 seconds. Now, I know you're math wizards. That's a 33% drop. Now, that's not good, because that's going the wrong way. I said drop. Should we go the other way, at least? Right? We're basically walking around like this. Squirrel! Speaking of squirrels, why is there a goldfish in a wine glass? A, I like wine. Shirazes, if anyone wants to buy me a glass later. And it turns out that the attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. We're at 8, they're at 9. Now, they don't have a lot to do during the day, but they're still not as distracted as us. It's crazy.